guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching a video called Holland versus the Netherlands. So I'm super excited to check out this video because I admit that I'm a little confused by this, because I know that I probably made the mistake before that, sometimes I referred to the Netherlands as probably Holland and Holland as the Netherlands. So I'm pretty sure that I made that mistake because I'm not super clear on what's the difference. I think in my mind I don't know why I think like at some point in time they were named Holland and like they changed the name to the Netherlands at some point in time. But I don't know if that's right. I don't feel that's right. I think maybe it's just like Holland. I think it's a country. But no, because the Netherlands is like a whole thing. So again, I don't know if it refers to maybe like the Netherlands are sort of like the name, they sort of like decided to unify the whole thing, because maybe it was Holland versus some other countries that I don't really know, and they sort of like decided to unite the whole thing. And it's just like Holland was probably the most famous one, so it was like, well, no, we're the Netherlands. Maybe it's like that, or maybe they just decided because again, I don't know if it is just that they sort of like changed the name of the country because maybe they were like, no, the Netherlands fits better because the whole country is underwater. So I don't know, again, no idea, but I'm excited to finally learn and hopefully stop making the mistake. Maybe, hopefully, but I don't make any promises. So let's check it out and comment, like, subscribe, and start.
Welcome to the great nation of Holland, where the tulips grow, the windmills turn, the breakfast is chocolatey, the people are industrious, and the sea tries to drown it all. Except this country isn't Holland.
Exactly.
It's time for the difference between Holland, the Netherlands, and a whole lot more.
Okay,
the correct name for this tulip-growing, windmill-building, hagelslag-eating, container-ship-moving, ocean-conquering nation is the Netherlands. But confusion is understandable. The general region has been renamed a lot over 1,000 years, including as the Dutch Republic, the United States of Belgium, and the Kingdom of Holland. But it's not just history that makes this country's name confusing, because the Netherlands is divided into 12 provinces. Groningen, Drenthe, Overijssel, Gelderland, Limburg, Noord-Brabant, Zeeland, which by the way is the Zeeland that makes this Zeeland new, Friesland with adorable little hearts on its flags, Flevoland, Utrecht, and here's the confusion, North Holland and Zuid-South Holland. These provinces make calling the Netherlands Holland like calling the United States Dakota.
Okay, yes, like
unlike the Dakotas, which are mostly empty, save for the occasional jackalope, the two Hollands are the most populated provinces and have some of the biggest attractions like Amsterdam and Keukenhof.
Okay,
Chances
Amsterdam
are,
is in Holland.
Dutch and you've heard of it, it's in one of the Hollands. Even the government's travel website for the country is holland.com, officially because it sounds familiar, but unofficially it's probably what people are actually searching for. Confusion continues because people who live in the Hollands are called Hollanders, but all citizens of the Netherlands are called Dutch, as is their language. But in Dutch, they say, Nederlands spreken de Nederlanders in Nederland, which sounds like they'd rather we call them Netherlanders speaking Netherlandish. Meanwhile, next door in Germany, they're Deutsche sprechen Deutsch in Deutschland, which sounds like they'd rather be called Dutch. This linguistic confusion is why Americans call the Pennsylvania Dutch Dutch, even though they're Germans. To review, this country is the Netherlands, its people are Dutch, and they speak Dutch. There is no country called Holland, but there are provinces of North and South Holland.
Okay,
Got it? Great, because it's about to get more complicated.
Oh my God,
the Netherlands is part of a kingdom with the same name, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, which is headed by the Dutch royal family. The Kingdom of the Netherlands contains 3 more countries, and to find them we must sail from the icy North Sea to the Caribbean and Aruba, Curaçao, and St. Martin. These are no territories, but self-governing countries within the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and as such, they have their own governments and their own currencies. Geography geek side note here, while Aruba and Curaçao are islands, St. Martin is just the southern half of a tiny island also named St. Martin, the other half of which is occupied by France, and also named Saint Martin. So despite being separated by Belgium on the European map, the Kingdom of the Netherlands and the French Republic share a border on the other side of the world on an island so nice they named it thrice. But why does the Kingdom of the Netherlands reach to the Caribbean anyway? Because empire. In the 1600s, the Dutch, always looking to expand business, laid their hands on every valuable port they could. For a time, America's east coast was New Netherland with its capital city of New Amsterdam. There was New York was funded by Dutch. Previously, and nearby, the King of the Islands, New Holland. Though the empire is gone, these 3 Caribbean nations remain. And while 4 countries in one kingdom isn't unheard of, it doesn't stop there, because the country of the Netherlands also extends its borders to the Caribbean and 3 more islands.
Indonesia.
Bonaire, St. Eustatius, and Saba. These are not countries in the kingdom, but are cities cities in the country of the Netherlands, and they look the part. Residents of these far-flung cities vote in elections for the Dutch government just as any Hollander would, though weirdly they don't belong to any province, and they don't use the Dutch currency of euros. They use dollars instead. It's kind of like if Hawaii wasn't a state, but technically part of the District of Columbia, all the while using yen. These cities of the country of the Netherlands and these countries in the Kingdom of the Netherlands are together known as the Dutch Caribbean, and their citizens are Dutch citizens, which, because the Kingdom of the Netherlands is a member of the European Union, means that these Dutch Caribbeans are also Europeans. So there are 6 Caribbean islands, 4 countries, 12 provinces, 2 Hollands, 2 Netherlands, and 1 kingdom. All Dutch.
Okay, yeah. This more complicated than I thought it would be. Although I'm not, I was expecting a little bit of complication because again, when things are like that, they have several names, it gets complicated. But what I'm getting is that it's more akin to the United Kingdom, in which, you know, there's instead of like the United Kingdom, it's like the Netherlands, the Netherlands, sort of like, I can't remember, like the Netherlands Republic, something like that. The Kingdom of the Netherlands. The Kingdom of the Netherlands is like the United Kingdom. That's what I can sort of like make the equivalent of, I think, if I understood it correctly. And that's why they refer to us as the Netherlands. But I think it's inappropriate to call it Holland. I think that's sort of what I think I learned is that you can't call it Holland unless it's Amsterdam or I think The Hague. But, you know, because the citizens, yes, they're Dutch, but they are in the province of Holland and New Holland. I think New Holland. So it is sort of like, yeah, it wouldn't be incorrect to refer to them as, you know, it's Holland because they are in the province of Holland. However, they're Dutch because, you know, Dutch is a whole like nationality of the whole like provinces and of the whole states. So I think the most appropriate term is to say the Netherlands because it's a kingdom of the Netherlands, and you would be correct, of course, to say like Aruba, like Curacao, like those are Dutch as well because they are part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, and they are Dutch citizens. Yes, because everyone's a Dutch citizen because obviously that's, you know, your country. That's your country, like that you swore loyalty to the king or whatever, or the queen, you know, whatever's in the throne, but you know, the monarchy. Like that's what it is. However, like each nation is independent, obviously, again, as a United Kingdom, only that in that case, you know, it's like people may speak different languages and have different currencies, and probably they have, obviously, because they have local governments, so they have their own thing and they do their own thing separate. But again, like on a macro level, they're Dutch. And then when it comes to like the micro, it goes like the lower, like it goes as it goes lower, like you have different things, and you know, maybe like people speak a different language, people have, you know, they have another president, they have other things, although they still vote in the general sort of like elections for whatever, I think it's parliament, I don't know what sort of like government that the Netherlands have, that they do vote in that as well as probably voting in like the local elections, because I think they must have a president, right? I think, or maybe like a prime minister or so of some sort. But I think what I've learned is that stop calling it Holland. Holland is just, you know, a state, like he said. I think very clearly, like calling Holland the whole Netherlands is like saying, you know, whatever, a country like I don't know, again, like Dakota, like he said, it's like calling Dakota or Idaho the whole United States. It's like, no, it's not, or New York. It's like, no, it isn't like that. But, you know, only when it's appropriate to tell them like, oh, you know, it's in Holland, as it would say, like Amsterdam is in Holland. Yes, a place in the Kingdom of the Netherlands. I think that's what it is. Again, at least if I understood it correctly, which I think I did. I think when it goes a little bit, like it's a little more complicated. It's when it goes to like, well, you know, not the whole like they conquered. They conquered. Yeah, it was a conquest. I don't know. Whatever. It's like the empire expanded as usually. A lot of places and a lot of countries in Europe did that. So it's like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That obviously they do have. I think the United Kingdom, I think, it still has islands in the Caribbean, which, you know, the Netherlands as well. And I don't know if it places in Asia as well. But, you know, it's like, yes, that doesn't really get confusing. But, you know, there are some parts that I think are a little bit confusing. Like, especially I think when it comes to like the language itself, because it's like, well, yeah, the Pennsylvania Dutch is like, you call them Pennsylvania Dutch, but they're I think they're German, I think. You know, they're German, but they call Dutch, but it's Dutch because don't get it confused with like the Dutch. You know, the Dutch as in their language they speak, and not Dutch as in Deutschland. So it is. That's where it gets a little bit more complicated. But I think the basis of it all, it's like, okay, I'll stop calling it Holland if at least if I catch myself saying Holland, I'll know no, unless it's like actual places in Holland. Which, okay, but it was very precise, very like smartly done. But again, I think maybe like you need, hold on a moment, give me a moment to sort of like process all this information. But again, you know, very informative. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.